Here we are in Super Shiny 1.1.25. One of the changes, quite important changes that I made, is in the Boxplot part. So if we've processed and we've come to this part in a steady state experiment, so far you could only sort of generate this plot with one variable here. This is sex. Here is the genotype. And the third variable is compound, which is used for filtering. This was a bit limited, and so I've changed this. For that, you first of all need to have the categories, of course. So I've added, so really this experiment consisted of treatment, genotype, and I've added sex and growth date, sort of at random. So these are new variables that weren't in the original experiment. But here now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 viable categorical categories, categorical variables, and we need to go back to here, and the fifth is sort of this compound ID, which we can use for filtering. So let's see what happens if we add another one. Okay, that goes to the end. It's maybe not what we wanted. Let's put this one here. That's much better. Compound ID at the end. So with the fourth variable has ended up, that's treatment, it's ended up over here on the sort of in the rows of the grid. And so that was a sort of, yeah, that was an obvious thing to do. Now, to go beyond this is maybe less obvious what to do, but it is possible to add more variables. So if we add this growth date thing, again, we probably don't want, we want compound ID at the end. Put it up here. Yeah, that's what we want. Now, come on. Yeah, it's a bit slow. This tends to be a bit slow, so yeah. So what this has done now is it has put sex and treatment on here, and the growth date over here. What has happened here is that the last variable that put here is the filtering variable. This is almost always going to be compound ID, but you can use any variable. It's not restricted to compound ID. The first one goes on the x-axis. The second one goes on here, the columns. The third one goes here in the rows. The fifth one goes in the columns again. And the sixth one that we don't have here would go again into the rows, and so on. You can just stack them up. You know, if you've got an experiment with lots of factors in them, you can keep doing this until you're sick of it. Anyway, this is this allows you to represent many more factors and to split up your points into all of these categories if you like.